everything is
Okay.
recorded, live stream. So
Perfect.
go.
Go. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Andres Junge. I'm Chilean, so forgive me for my Latin American English. But I can see other Latin Americans around. And I'm going to talk today about the research we've been doing in Anyenk about trustless account recovery. So there's a way to recover your funds in case you lost access to them, in a way that it's slightly different than they used to be. Okay, small about me. I'm a computer science engineer. I'm called OG by some people because I started on this blockchain development since the beginning, where Bitcoin was less than $1, I guess. I started an exchange called Yaikui in Chile. Then I worked at Uport and a self-sovereign identity platform at Consensus, the very early Consensus. And then I founded a company called Nota Bene, where we do regulatory compliance for crypto companies. And then now I'm working on Anyenk, which is the latest company I'm building, which we basically do or trying to bring the benefits of Web3 to Latin American companies. So first time I'm working for normal people, not, not crypto nerds like us. And well, right now the first focus we're doing is doing cross-border payments. SWIFT, it's terrible for Latin American companies, for exporters and importers. Every time they need to do something, they get charged a lot. So we providing, of course, stable coins for do that and on-off ramps in on different countries. But we need to provide them a wallet that it's connect all those stuff. So we decided to choose and to use a non-custodial wallet, a smart contract non-custodial wallet. I've been using for myself a safe, Gnosis Safe for a long time. So we thought, okay, non-custodial wallets make sense. And of course, there's new standards for it, and there's a lot of different ones that we can use. But still, our customers say, okay, great. Non-custodial wallet makes sense because, well, you know, in case something disappeared or your company disappeared, we need to get access to our funds anyway. So they value non-custodial, but the obvious questions for them is like, okay, I have the keys. In case I lost the keys, what do I do, right? So that's a big problem because if you have a smart contract and you lost the keys, basically the smart contract lies there with your funds, and there's no way you can sign something around, right? Yeah, well, of course, the main problem, it's, I guess, more than a technical problem, it's a UX problem. People in general, normal people, I would say, are used to have a centralized provider or someone that you can go and ask them, hey, is this going, I don't have access to my funds, what can I do? Can you provide me access back? And so on. So this whole crypto world is very complicated to understand to people. I always get in conversations with companies and they say, but if I lost signer access, am I really losing all my funds? There's no one you can recover? Yes, it's like not your keys, not your coins. It's a maximum here. So it means you need to be, or be your own bank also means like, okay, you need to control your own data, all your own security and all that stuff. So recovery needs to be at the center of this. If not, there's no really use for this kind of wallets in real use cases, right? So there's two kind of current recovery solutions. One is centralized custodians. There's a lot of companies that are providing what we call MPC, which is multi-party computing, which means like they have this kind of different servers, and each server has a part of the keys or a part of a recovery key. So in case people lost their funds or access to their accounts, they have a key or a third key that they can use to recover that. They claim in some cases this is decentralized because the key is split in different accounts, or sorry, in different servers. So, but in general, if those servers, you don't have access to them, then you lost your keys, right? So this is good in terms of provides a common use or a common people are used to this. Like I go to someone, ask him, okay, recover my funds, and they recover funds, right? But of course, if that third party or if that centralized solution gets down, and it's not always because they get hacked. Most of the time it's because the regulation or the authority says, okay, you cannot work, shut down your servers, right? So there's another way. It's called social recovery. When I was in Newport, a self-sovereign identity, we had research about this problem and solution on how do we recover my identity. If my identity is a smart contract or based on a smart contract, how do I recover? Like, you don't want to lose that, right? So we pilot a lot of and build a lot of tools for doing what is called social recovery, which means basically you have your smart contract and then you have another way to recover or change the ownership of the contract by making a couple of your friends go and agree that you need to change, or that this identity needs to change, or the signer key of this contract needs to change to another one, right? Because you lost it. It worked. We built that and try a lot and worked. Then Facebook implemented for a reason. So it's validated. The thing is that it's your friends. That is your problem. You need to first choose a certain amount of friends, like 3, 4, 5. Give them a couple of pieces to them, and then if they gather 3 out of 5, for example, they can recover your identity or your smart contract or your funds in our case. But those friends, you need to manage them in terms of like make sure they store the things, make sure you still keep contact them in case they go like, I don't know, you are not friends anymore. You need to recover those keys. You need to make sure they don't collude, so they don't need to be friends from your same circle, like not my old school friends or whatever, or my family. I don't know if you trust them so much. So you need to keep them different kinds of relationships managed. So it's a little complicated in the long run. Like at the beginning, it works. You manage 3 friends, okay, sign stuff, great. But I've tried this, for example, to my own funds. And it's really not good to manage all that relationship. It's really hard and strong. So these 2 issues require basically pre-established trust. You need to either trust the centralized custodian won't disappear, or the social network you build to actually recover your funds, right? Well, it's not really easy on that side, and we think there's a third way. So the third way is we call this decentralized dispute resolution. So the whole idea is based on, okay, my friends or the third party or the central custodian, when I want to recover, you need to go there and say, okay, I'm the actual owner of this thing that is unrecoverable. Can you please recover it for me or change it to mine? And they need to check if you're okay, if you're really the one that was the owner before and you lost it, and now you're the new owner or the same owner but with a new key, so you need to change the key. So they need to do this kind of check, right? Or verification. Your friends also, right? If I have a couple of friends or a friends network, and then I send them a WhatsApp message to tell them, hey, can you recover this or trigger the recovery process we already discussed? They will try to check first if I don't know, my WhatsApp wasn't being hacked or anything like that. So they need to actually verify me, right? So this can be done in a decentralized way. Neither a central trustable custodial, neither a decentral or a distributed, I guess, or split kind of recoverers, which are my friends, but by random people or people that I don't know and I don't have a trustable process before. So I don't know, how many here knows what Kleros is? Okay, how many have used Kleros? How many Kleros jurors here? Okay, besides me. Okay, great. So this is based on that idea, right? Kleros basically allows you to resolve disputes. So It works very short for people that doesn't know how Kleros work. Basically, it's a decentralized justice system. You apply to be a juror by buying a coin, and then they have this smart contract-based courts where you can post a dispute and some money to raise the dispute, and then the system selects random jurors, and the jurors are incentivized to rule properly or honestly, right? It's based on all these theories of the Schelling points that people will try to choose the best outcome. And also, they have an economic incentive. If they vote as the majority and the majority wins, well, of course, if the majority that won, they will get the parts of the money I put as to raise the court, to raise the trial, right? And if they don't, they will either get a penalty and the juror token, like they lose some, right? Which means they're incentivized to rule properly, right? So this really works in terms of recovery. So if you somehow have your smart contract with a certain amount of funds, and somehow you have proved that you own that contract, right? There's I can talk a little bit more about that later, but there's a lot of ways to prove attach your identity to a contract. And you say, okay, this is my identity. It's even off-chain. So when then the contract fails, or I lost access to those funds, then I can go to a court and say, okay, please, I need you to execute a way to transfer the ownership to my new account. This is what I was. I can prove here that the smart contract account is mine in the past, and now that this new key is mine also. So please execute that. And people vote and decide if I choose if the smart contract ownership should be changed to my new address, right? So, was a good theory, and then we went to implement it, of course, because we want to try to see if this works and own that. And so basically, you have the smart account, can be any kind of smart accounts. There's standards for this, of course, the 4337 and the 7579, which basically standardize how you can transfer ownership or how contract can be used to as wallet with different ways of validate the transactions, right? So it goes this way. The smart account has an A/B signers, both need to sign to operate, whatever. Then you need to first go to our contract that we wrote, the dispute recovery validator, which basically you said, okay, please, I want to, in case I lost access to this contract, I want to have a recovery, right? So somehow it's a way for the wallet to sign up to the system, right? Great, that's it. And then, in case you lost recovery, you become C, and you want to have access to the smart account again, right? So you go to the dispute recovery validator and start to initiate a new recovery, which basically it triggers, of course, and you need to put some ETH, right? And you say, I'm the new owner, and provide all the off-chain data. That means, okay, I'm the owner of the previous key, or for some reason I was the owner of the previous smart account. And then also, this is my new key, so I need this new key to have control of the smart contract, right? So that creates a dispute in the arbitrator. It's good to mention that Kleros is the only one that does this so far as I read. So, but there's a standard. This is DRC 792, which basically allows any other smart contract to become an arbitrator. So this can be connected to any kind of arbitrator system, right? Even as a social recovery one, if you need, right? So creates a dispute with ETH, and then the question is asked to the jurors, okay, is this claimant the legitimate owner of this smart account? So they review the evidence, they vote, and they cast their vote in the smart contract, in the Kleros smart contract, and basically that triggers, when the case is solved, that triggers a rule which basically tells the dispute recovery validator, okay, the court has says, yes, we need to transfer ownership, and then you can execute the recovery, which basically means the smart account, the dispute recovery validator can trigger the transfer ownership to the smart account and transfer the ownership to the new one. Basically, that's it, right? It's just as one smart contract that implements the dispute recovery validator, the ones that implements a way to run dispute in Kleros when needed, and trigger a transfer ownership on the smart wallet. The smart wallet, the smart account wallet needs to have some sort of transfer ownership mechanism. That is not super standardized. In some cases, you need to add an extra, like a plugin or something to allow that. But in general, most of the smart contract accounts support that kind of thing, as far as we have tried. So where are we? We have implemented this. There's a repo there if you want to take a look. We have deployed those things in Ethereum and in other pools to test in Base, in other blockchains, in Base, for example. And we are trying to do, we have done some tests. We have tested with the current Kleros jurors, and it works. But still, we have no real test, there's no one that has lost their funds or access to their accounts and needs to trigger this. So I think we're still missing some real validation. Maybe I will lose my key somewhere and try to test it locally. We still need to define the identity proof. What we have done for the try test is we sign a message with one of the signer keys of the original signer keys of the contract, and we sign a message that says, okay, my name is Andres, here's a picture or a hash of picture of my identity card, and that's it, right? And then we say, okay, this is my new key, do the same thing and post both things to Kleros and say, okay, this proof that I was the owner of this key, this proof I'm the owner of this new key, so please do the transfer, right? Yeah. So far, worked, but definitely, I guess we need to build something more useful. Maybe even something that can be consumed, some evidence that can be consumed by agents, right? Because I know Kleros is testing a lot with different agents, jurors, right? And also on the other side, the smart contract account wallets needs to have this kind of transfer ownership function or things like that not all of them support them. So we need to try to support different wallets. So this will work with any kind of wallet that has some kind of support. And of course, adding to our own platform, because so we can provide and tell our customers, okay, your accounts are non-custodial, but in case it gets lost or you lost access to it, you can have a way to recover it that it's decentralized, and you basically just need to start the recovery process. That's it, I guess. Yeah. I think I can have one or no questions. Good.
Thanks a lot, Andres.
Thank you.
Any question for Andres? If not yet, you can ask other questions.
Yes,
just
for
after the
sure.
talk.
That's my email in case you want to write me something. Also, for sure, happy to answer.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.